Hey everyone, it's been a while, it's been a little while, but I'm back. I'm done with some important school stuff I needed to get over before I could get to recording, and I'm actually now doing videos again. Today I wanted to start off with one of my favorites actually. I mean, for a weird reason, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this weapon, but without further ado, let's get started on the spring review. So, looking at Spring's stats, you can immediately tell that it's the Water Mythic for Archer. As Water Mythics go, their design generally isn't super revolutionary, and I think that kind of goes for Spring. It's got some very standard stats, a bit of water damage, quite a lot of mana regen actually. You can notice it gives a lot of skill points in both Strength and Intelligence, so you basically max out your Intelligence and also get some nice damage from the Strength. It's got negative dexterity, which is a shame because it basically locks you out of thunder, water, air. Although, for water mythics, it's generally more optimal to go for earth, water, fire anyway. You can also see it's got spell cost. It's got -1 spell cost, so it has some resemblance to Orange Lily, especially in the sense that it's got also +1 for spell cost, so your arrow shield costs a little more. It's not a big deal, it's just kind of a more flavor ID. But yeah, pretty standard stuff in general, 3 powder slots, nothing really special in that department. As for how Spring's gameplay goes, it's nothing special. You can compare it a lot to Freedom or really any spell spam bow there is. You just spam Storm Bomb, Storm Bomb, Storm Bomb. But it's pretty good at that, you know, it's got nice damage, it's got, you know, everything you'd really ask for. It's a pretty simple weapon. And I personally like it, but it can be to some kind of boring because it's just very standard. I still, though, enjoy it, so what can I say? I think it's kind of a personal preference. As I stated earlier in the stats section, Spring is pretty restrictive in the terms of like the playstyles or the elemental archetypes you can use. The only really meta one is Earth, Water, Fire, although it really does work well with Spring. You know, if you pair it with Gaea-Hewn, you also get a bit of sustain from the health region, which is really nice. But one big thing that really makes Spring good, in my opinion, is how well it synergizes with Time Rift. After the Time Rift buff, or I guess bug fix, where it doesn't mess up your spell combos, Spring can really abuse Time Rift and just get that extra 33% DPS for free, because with Archer spell combos, you don't really use any escapes or anything. So Time Rift doesn't mess you up in that way. So if Spring already does like around 15k bombs with, what's it called, just normal Earth, Water, Fire, if you slap on Time Rift, that's an effective 33% damage increase. You're going to be doing an effective 20k bombs. That's Divser level, that's absolutely huge. So Spring is nothing to be laughed at, and I think a lot of people ignore that aspect of Spring. And in addition, you also have Curse, and of course, you know, Concentration, but mostly Curse. And Time Rift can also stack that, so you can get like 3 curses on a boss and literally just melt it. Spring is great in my opinion, and honestly, after using Spring and Freedom, I'll make a Freedom review someday. I think it's definitely on par, especially after the Freedom nerf. It is on par as a weapon. It's very good. But yeah, just abuse Time Rift, abuse Earth, Water, Fire. You can use Nighthawk. I think Nighthawk and non-Nighthawk are tied in terms of power with Spring. Like, you can really use either, and either one works. It's up to preference. I like to usually switch up the two, depending on if I use Aphotic or Nighthawk, depending on the fight I am in. Say, if the boss uses a lot of Arrow Storm, Heavy Explosion, stuff like that, and swap out the Nighthawk. You get the point. But yeah, that's about it. Now to the conclusion. To conclude, I think Spring is a pretty fun weapon, at least I personally like it. Some people may say it's a bit simple, but I guess it's personal preference. It's also very good, like genuinely very good, especially after the 1.20 buff. It is a beast, I'd say definitely easily high A tier in terms of all weapons go. So yeah, have a try with Spring, make sure to slap on Time Rift, I guess. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, see ya. Hopefully I'll upload a bit more frequently than once a month from now on. So yeah, bye.